We've signed 3 sizable agreements on the forum. It's, first of all, joining the Vashod system, it's the Far East Stock Exchange. It's joining the system of Sberbank Finline, for banking system in the Far East. But most importantly, it's an agreement with Sakhalin Corporation on the SMES development in Sakhalin. I think, unfortunately, today the role of the regional banks today sort of underappreciated for the development of the SMES, because nobody knows it better than the regional banks. But the regional banks, they basically cut off from the state support program, because the great program called 6.5 from the Corporation of Small Medium-Sized Businesses, only 10 of the biggest banks have access to it, with the over 50 billion rubles in capital. But the regional banks that understand the specifics of the business, they don't have access to it. Those closest to the small and medium-sized businesses have the most expensive resources. And that's the biggest question to small and medium business, of course, is the price of money. They have to borrow from the regional banks, but it's very expensive. For instance, our contract with Sakhalin Corporation, we're trying to maintain the 11.5% in Sakhalin interest rate, although general across the board we have about 20%. Yes, the big banks, they address these products, but other than Sberbank, really nobody achieved any success in that. The Far Eastern region is unique because on the one hand it's enormous territory, but it's very low density of the population, which doesn't make this region very attractive for the consumer sector. At the same time, the region has enormous resources and great deposits that are yet to be discovered. And of course, the foreign investors are interested in access to those resources, but if the resources are going to be mined, then the density of the population is going to grow, and there's going to be an additional stimulation for the development of the consumer market. And yes, indeed, the state does quite a lot. There's a special ministry on development. There's a foundation, the Fund on Development, Corporation on the Development of the Far East. All of this has been launched relatively recently, but there's already some results now. Quite a bit is done with the Chinese developers, but you have to understand Chinese mentality. They are moving sort of slow, so we're staying, at a crossroads where we see some result, or some things will start happening, but we're also hoping on work with the Japanese investors too. And I believe that investors, of course, they're worried about the legislation because it seems imperfect in many ways. But in my opinion, the legislation that we have, I think it protects the investor. But there's another thing, the sanctions, of course, they didn't help at all. So for the for the big investors, for the big foreign banks, it's hard to invest into Russia because it threatens their business in other countries. Maybe some tax preferences I needed, but generally speaking, there's nothing specific really that we need to do. There's got to be marketing for business, and then the investors will come.